how on earth do you handle conflict in the workplace? You know that it's happened to you. So when you work somewhere, you obviously cannot avoid some people. Sometimes it's coworkers, sometimes it's a boss, sometimes it's an employee, sometimes it's a manager, etc. The list goes on. The point is that when we work with people and the more responsibility we get and the higher up we go in any company, the more we're gonna have potential conflict. So here's a mindset that I use. At a very young age, I started learning martial arts. And I remember at the age of 19, when I started working with Iron Wolf, shout out to Sensei Bill, when I started working with him, the first thing that he focused on was the mindset. He said, you know what? Your body's gonna become a weapon, and you only use that weapon when you're in the desperate need to. You only use it when necessary. So the mindset was so important. And basically it was avoiding conflict. It was teaching to avoid. So when a conflict was occurring, you run. You only use your weapon when it's necessary. So how does that apply to the workplace? Well, what happens is that so much of how we react is emotional. We don't actually look at the situation. And it's happened to me. I'm not a saint here. I remember one time that I got some criticism, and instead of reacting in a way like, okay, how can I improve with this criticism, with the feedback, I ended up getting offended. And then I said, why am I getting offended? And so if we can take that approach, but actually question, like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I offended here? Let me go deeper into this. Don't react right away. Most of the time we're gonna come out with a better answer. You probably heard a lot about these Stoic mindsets, Marcus Aurelius, and there's a lot of talk about that these days. But essentially, it's our mindset should be able to handle the conflict and avoid the conflict. And even though you can't avoid the person, you can't avoid your reaction to them. So in a nutshell, I see so much value to taking an approach, whether it be a Stoic type of approach or a martial arts philosophy kind of approach, and actually reacting rationally versus emotionally when conflict occurs. Now, I remember back again with Sensei Bill when I was doing the Iron Wolf martial arts, I remember him telling me, look, okay, you might be at a bar one day and they say, make a comment about your mom. So one of two things, that comment is either true or it's not true. So if it's not true, why give it that power? Why react? If it's true, hey, the guy was right, the girl was right. So that kind of mindset, and he would do it in a different fashion. I'm making it PG, but essentially the approach is that don't give the other person's words so much power. And I think these things we can apply to any part of life. It's not just in the workplace or business, really any part of life. I really hope this was helpful to you and you got some value. And thanks so much for tuning in. On another video, I'm going to talk about the art of negotiation and how to negotiate. If you haven't seen it yet, check out the video on how to negotiate with banks. I hope you guys enjoy that one as well. And thanks for tuning in.